Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India News Hour, India's voice to the world. I'm Mark Lynn. Namaskar. Coming up in the next hour. Prime Minister Modi to hoist the saffron flag at Ayodhya's Ram Temple today to mark a momentous occasion in the nation's socio-cultural and spiritual landscape. Prime Minister to inaugurate the Panchjanya in Haryana's Kurukshetra. It's built in honor of the sacred conch of Lord Krishna. It is also to commemorate the 350th Shahidi Divas of Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur there. US President Trump to visit Beijing in April, holds telephonic conversation with his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping. They discuss issues of bilateral cooperation and Taiwan. Ethiopia's Hayli Gubbi volcano has erupted for the first time in 12,000 years. India's Civil Aviation Ministry issues advisory, asks airlines to avoid affected regions. The legendary actor Dharmendra, Hindi cinema's He-Man, dies at 89 after a 6-decade career. And India clinched the Women's Kabaddi World Cup 2025 after a dominant win over Chinese Taipei. The Prime Minister sends wishes, says the victory will inspire future generations to take up the sport. Ayodhya stands on the threshold of a grand celebration. Preparations in the birthplace of Lord Ram are at their peak. Tuesday will witness the sacred religious flag, the Dharmendra. It's being hoisted atop the pinnacle of the Ram Temple. And crores of Ram devotees across the country and the world are eagerly waiting for the darshan of this holy flag that will flutter at a height of 191 feet. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will also bear witness to this historic moment, and the holy city is drenched in devotion, enthusiasm and spiritual energy, as Gautam Roy reports.
Ayodhya is ready to dazzle once again. The birthplace of Lord Ram is putting its best foot forward. The occasion is the hoisting of the Dharmendra, or the sacred flag, on the Ram Janmabhoomi temple. Devotional songs dedicated to Lord Ram are playing on the streets of Ayodhya. Bhajans and kirtans are being performed all around. On Tuesday, at an auspicious moment, the religious flag will be hoisted atop the Ram temple at its highest point. The entire city of Ayodhya has been adorned like a bride for the occasion.
Flag hosting ceremony on the top of the main temple. Main temple means Ram Janmabhoomi temple. So the flag will reach up to the top of 191 feet high from the zero level or the ground level or the courtyard level.
The sacred flag will be hoisted on the temple at a height of 191 feet. The Dharmendra is 22 feet in length and 11 feet wide. The flag weighs 2.5 kgs and bears the symbol of the sun. It signifies the emblem of the Surya Vansh, or the solar dynasty, along with the Om symbol. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will participate in this ceremony along with RSS Chief Dr. Mohan Bhagwat. The Prime Minister's roadshow is to start from Saket Mahavidyalaya and proceed up to the Ram Mandir. Amid the chanting of Vedic mantras, the saffron-colored flag will be hoisted on the temple's pinnacle. An atmosphere of celebration and enthusiasm prevails throughout Ayodhya regarding the flag hoisting program. The hoisting of the flag symbolizes that the temple is now complete.
It is the symbol of dedication, samarpana. So it is a very pious flag This is the significance of this flag. And the ceremony indicates that the construction of the main temple is more or less complete. Temple work is complete.
Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has also written a letter to the people of the state. He has said that Ayodhya has regained its glory through the sacrifices of countless saints, Ram devotees, and warriors.
Lord Ram is among the most revered deities in the 33 types of deities, gods and goddesses in the Hindu faith. The completion of a temple in Ayodhya at his birthplace is of tremendous significance to those who not only follow the religion, but also the belief that Ram is truth, Ram is sacrifice, he's valor, and also the fulfillment of the destiny of the greatness of India. With camera person Sunil, Gautam Roy, Ayodhya, DD India.
Well, the Ram Janmabhoomi Temple is a sprawling complex with multiple places of worship, with other facilities and attractions as well. And among its unique features in the temple is dedicated to Lord Ram's brother, a temple for Lakshman, and 7 venerated figures like Maharishis as well as Ma Shabri. And this is also from the same era. Gautam Roy tells us more.
The sacred flag hoisting in Ayodhya will not only signify the completion of the Sri Ram Janmabhoomi temple, but the entire temple complex is dotted with places of worship, and one of them, quite unique, is right here in front of us. It's called the Sri Sheshavatar Mandir. It is perhaps one of the few, if not the only, temple dedicated to Lord Lakshman, the younger brother of Lord Ram, who went along when Ram was banished from the kingdom of Lord Dashrath, King Dashrath. He went along with Lord Ram's wife, Sita, and him, although he was not banished himself. And Lakshman is believed to be the incarnation of Sheshnag, Lord Sheshnag, the king of serpents. And this is a temple dedicated to him. And further to the south, there is Sapta Mandir as well, which is about all the people who were there in the time of Lord Ram himself. They were Maharshis, and there were revered figures like Devi Ahilya and Ma Shabri as well. And also we had other people associated with him. There are temples dedicated to them here as well. And they will serve as, well, global attractions for people to again come and visit this temple complex, one of the most revered Hindu places, destinations of worship in the world. With camera person Sunil, this is Gautam Roy in Ayodhya for DD India.
And the Ram Janmabhoomi temple is also replete with beautiful idols of several gods and goddesses and other revered saints and other figures in the Hindu pantheon. Gautam Roy has spoken to one of the sculptors involved in the divine work to find out how it feels to be at this juncture when the temple has reached its completion. Take a listen.
One of the arresting, indeed, very, very standout feature of this Ram Janmabhoomi temple in Ayodhya, which has multiple temples really, is the idols which extremely captivate all the devotees and visitors here. And we have a set of people with us, 2 of them, father and son, in fact, duo, who have made a lot of these idols. We have with us Prashant Pandey and his father, Satyaprakash Pandey. Thank you for speaking to DD. Just Satyanarayan Pandey, I'm sorry, thank you. Could you tell us how did this come about that you were involved in this project to the extent that you've been? Tell us about that as well.
Yeah, first of all, Jai Shri Ram to everyone. So we were very fortunate as in from the 3 generation of sculptor, as in family of Pandey Murti Mandar Jaipur. We have tried hard to, always, and this is a place which call like you have to be in the nails of a god. Like Rama, if you can be in the heart of everyone. So we started this journey from, starting from the Ram Lala. We are among 3 artists who made the Ram Lala. We have made it in white. And then the steps, if you see the entering in the temple, you will see the 2 elephants, 2 lions, and Garud Dwar, Singh Dwar at the entrance. At the main entrance, you'll see the Ganpati. We call it Ganesh Pole. Then you go inside at the ground floor. If you see the left and right, you'll see the Ganeshji and Hanumanji over there. with the Jai Vijay panel. And then you go to the first floor, then you'll see the Ram Darbar, which is made by us, and we have done this work in Jaipur in 9 months. So there you will see the Rama, Sita and Hanumana in Das Roop, and the Bharatji in Das Roop, and Lakshmana and Shatrughan at the back. And over there also you'll see at Dwarpal at the first floor. Then you go to the Parkota, you'll start from Ganpati, Hanumanji, Durgama, Surya Bhagwan, Annapurnama, also made by Pandemurti Bhandar in Jaipur. Then if you go to Saptrishi Mandap, Sapt Mandap, then you'll see over there the Rishi Valmiki, Vasisht, Vikramaditya, Ahilya, Sabrima and Nishad Raj over there. So we have tried to give our, soul, our effort and experience, what we can do. So if you go and have a darshan, if you feel that the God, the Bhagwan and the sons all are talking to you, we feel that our role is over.
There you have it. That's the kind of feeling that most people walk away with, even those involved in the project itself, who sometimes have a dispassionate view of the work that they do. Here it's completely different because the feeling is all about Lord Ram himself. With camera person Sunil, this is Gautam Roy, Ayodhya, TT India.
Well, after wrapping up his schedule for Ayodhya, Prime Minister Modi will be visiting Kurukshetra, a city and district in the Indian state of Haryana, where he will inaugurate the new Panchjanya monument, visit the Mahabharat Anubhav Kendra, as well as attend a special event which marks the 350th Shahidi Divas of Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji. He'll also release a commemorative stamp and coin on the occasion. So security has been tightened. There are over 5,000 police personnel there ensuring the ensuring that this event remains safe and smooth. Siddharth Bhardwaj is there. He reports.
As Kurukshetra celebrates the International Gita Mahotsav, the city is fully geared up for Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit. With a packed itinerary, PM Modi will inaugurate the newly constructed Panchjanya, built in honor of the sacred conch of Lord Krishna. He will then visit the Mahabharat Anubhav Kendra, an experiential center depicting significant episodes from the Mahabharat. Prime Minister Modi will also participate in a special program commemorating the 350th Shahidi Divas of Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, the revered 9th Sikh Guru. During the program, he will release a special coin and commemorative stamp marking the 350th Shahidi Divas of the revered Guru. The Government of India is observing a year-long commemoration to honor the 350th Shahidi Divas of Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji. Security has been significantly intensified across Kurukshetra, with the deployment of over 5,000 police personnel and strict crowd management measures in place. Authorities are leaving no stone unturned to ensure a smooth, safe, and well-coordinated event. People from different countries are expressing their happiness ahead of Prime Minister Modi's visit.
Every time we were watching movies about the Indian people, and I heard a lot about India, about the history, and I'm really excited. And then I'm just looking forward to see this Prime Minister and just to see his own with my own eyes. It's a big event for us.
I'm really grateful for Indian people, for your kindness and hospitality, and everything in India is so good. I read a lot about Kurukshetra's history. There's a lot of there's a lot of wonderful things here, and I'm really grateful for you, for your kindness. Thank you.
PM Modi will perform puja and darshan at Brahma Sarovar, which is considered one of India's most sacred pilgrimage sites.
With preparations in full swing, Kurukshetra is all set to welcome Prime Minister Narendra Modi. PM Modi's visit will add a fresh significance to the rich cultural and spiritual heritage of Kurukshetra. With camera person Sunil Rana, this is Siddharth Bhardwaj reporting for DD India in Kurukshetra, Haryana.
Well, let's go across now to Ayodhya. Gautam Roy is standing by. He joins us now. Gautam, indeed an important occasion, one filled with devotion and spirituality. But why is November 25 seen as an auspicious day for this historic flag hoisting?
I think it's a question, Mark. Good morning. The big reason, of course, is that it's Vivah Panchami. It's a festive period where the wedding of Lord Sri Ram to Mata Sita is celebrated. Let me just show you how this main temple, the Sri Ram Janmabhoomi temple, has been readied for this ceremony and the big event today of the sacred saffron flag being hoisted. Right now, of course, it is an early part of the day. People have started already streaming in. You can see the decorations, how the marigold flower, the leaves of the mango, these are auspicious. They've been used for decoration as well. You can see the orange marigold, the yellow marigold, a lot of other flowers as well, all ready to really bring in that big occasion of the flag hoisting, which would signify that the temple is complete, that the temple is established with a deity inside, and it is a sacred place now, and the entire region is under its protection and is blessed as well. So that is the kind of significance that this moment has, and even the time that has been chosen is the Abhijit Muhurat, where the flag hoisting has been carried out. I'm told it's from 11:58 a.m. local time today till about 1:30 p.m. And during that period is when the flag is being hoisted. Before that, we'll have the Prime Minister coming in. There are other people, a lot of people from Eastern UP, thousands of them invited, as you can see. The chairs really tell their own story, the MP chairs. They will all be filled. It will be a jam-packed house when that big event happens, Mark.
Also, Gautam, is this being seen, as a second Pran Pratishta or a consecration of sorts?
This is the consecration was, of course, the big event that took place at that time when the judgment had come and it was clear that the temple was constructed here and the idol was established. It was consecrated. Now it's a completion of the entire structure of the temple, and that will be signified by the flag hoisting, which will be at the height of 191, a commanding height of 191 feet. You can see the pinnacle there of the temple too. That's where the flag will be hoisted. It's got a golden pole. That's the total height there, 191 feet. And that's where the flag, 22 feet in length and 11 feet wide, will be unfurled. And it will bear the symbol of the Sun dynasty as well, Raghukul dynasty, of which Lord Ram was, his entire dynasty was. And it will also have Om and a holy tree being depicted on it, which is, tells you that this is the temple of Lord Sri Ram, the birthplace of Lord Sri Ram. So extremely significant moment for all the faithful, not just in India, but around the world.
We'll leave it there for the moment. Thanks very much for joining us, Gautam, on this auspicious occasion. Now, still to come on DD India News Hour. Zelensky says peace plan with the US and Europe now includes the correct points. Sudan's Rapid Support Forces they've announced a unilateral 3-month humanitarian truce. And the Christmas market season has opened across Germany.
Jharkhand will mesmerize you with majestic nature, rich heritage and colorful culture.
Hello. Johar. It fits perfectly.
Thank you.
Full workout ho gaya.
Ready?
Postcards from Jharkhand on National Geographic.
You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Mark Lynn. The US President Donald Trump touted relations with China as extremely strong on Monday following a call with the Chinese President Xi Jinping. Trump said that he held a very good phone call with the Chinese leader Xi Jinping, during which the leaders discussed the conflict in Ukraine, fentanyl trafficking and a deal for farmers. Now, Trump said on a Truth Social post, and I quote him now, "We have done a good and very important deal for our great farmers, and it will only get better. Our relationship with China is extremely strong." Trump also said he had accepted Xi's invitation to visit China in April and that Xi would visit the United States later in the year. Trump made no mention of Taiwan in his post, The call came weeks after the two leaders met in South Korea, where they agreed on a framework for a trade deal that has yet to be finalized. And the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said on Monday that the proposed peace plan now under discussion with the United States and Europe has incorporated the correct points. After an intense period of diplomacy in Geneva, Zelensky, in a nightly video, said that there are fewer points than 28 and many proper considerations have been taken into account in this framework. He also added sensitive issues, the most delicate points, were to be discussed with the US President Donald Trump.
Our delegation returned from Geneva after negotiation with the American side and European partners, and now the list of necessary steps to end the war may become workable. As of now, after Geneva, there are fewer points, no longer 28, and many proper elements have been incorporated into this framework. There is still a lot for all of us to work on together. It's very difficult to finalize the document, and we must do everything properly. And we appreciate that most of the world is ready to help us and that the American side is constructive. Practically all day yesterday was filled with meetings, complex, extremely detailed work.
Meanwhile, the White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said on Monday that there is no meeting scheduled between the US President Donald Trump and the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky this week.
So there are no plans at this moment in time. As you know, things can change very quickly around here, so we'll keep you all apprised, but there's no meeting scheduled right now. As for where we are, I spoke with Secretary Rubio at length. I spoke with the president as well. Everybody inside feels optimistic about what happened and transpired yesterday in Geneva. Secretary Rubio, Special Envoy Witkoff, the whole team really worked through the points of that 28-point peace plan that the United States authored with input from both sides, the Russians and the Ukrainians, and ultimately the vast majority of these points have been agreed upon. The Ukrainians have worked on language with us together, and you heard that from their delegation directly yesterday. So we feel as though we're in a very good place. Of course, we have to make sure that all of these points are agreed to, and then of course we're going to have to make sure the other party in this war, the Russians, agree to them as well.
The European Union could finalize free trade agreements with the Philippines, Thailand and Malaysia by 2027. The European Commissioner for Trade, Maros Sefcovic, emphasized that the rules are not discriminatory or aimed at American companies and said that the Commission would continue to engage in dialogue with the United States to clarify the approach. These statements came after talks between the EU and the US delegations on a future trade deal that could address ongoing disputes over EU digital laws affecting US tech companies and tariffs on aluminium and steel imposed by the United States. Sefcovic expressed optimism and highlighted the EU's efforts to diversify its trade partnerships and to open new market access for European businesses.
I express my hope that by 2027 we would be in a position to complete the free trade negotiations with Philippines, Thailand and Malaysia. So we are clearly diversifying as much as possible, opening new market access for our entrepreneurs, for our businesses. Everywhere we have very important chapters on managing the critical raw materials and on economic security, and I really would like to thank the Danish presidency for strong support in that regard.
Well, earlier during a press meeting with the U.S. envoys, the U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick said that once the EU sets a digital framework that the U.S. is comfortable with, both sides could work on resolving outstanding issues such as steel and aluminium tariffs.
Our suggestion is that the European Union and their trade ministers deeply consider trying to analyze their digital rules, try to come away with a balance, not put them away, but find the balanced approach that works with us. And if they can come up with that balanced approach, which I think they can, then we will, together with them, handle the steel and aluminum issues and bring that on together. So that is on the table. Everything is on the table.
The U.S. President Donald Trump on Monday began the process of designating certain Muslim Brotherhood chapters as foreign terrorist organizations and specially designated global terrorists. Now, the Trump administration, in fact, Donald Trump himself, signed an executive order directing Secretary of State Marco Rubio and the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent to submit a report on whether to designate any Muslim Brotherhood chapters, such as those in Lebanon, Egypt, and Jordan, according to a White House sheet. It orders the secretaries, in fact, to move forward with any designations within 45 days of the report. The Trump administration has accused the Muslim Brotherhood factions in these countries of supporting or encouraging violent attacks against Israel, the U.S. partners, or also providing material support to the Palestinian militant group Hamas. The U.S. President Donald Trump is satisfied with strikes against suspected drug boats, and the attacks will continue, is what the White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt said on Monday. Trump has told his advisors that he plans to speak directly to the Venezuelan president, Nicolas Maduro, even as Washington designated him as the head of a terrorist organization on Monday. The United States on Monday formally designated Venezuela's Cartel de los Soles as a foreign terrorist organization, layering additional terrorism-related sanctions on the group that includes Maduro and other high-ranking officials. Venezuela's government has rejected what it called ridiculous, the U.S. plan to designate the non-existent group. The U.S. and Israel-backed Gaza Humanitarian Foundation announced its closing of the aid operations in Gaza after distributing over 187 million free meals to desperate civilians since May. The executive director, John Ackree, hailed the mission as a success and credited the model for preventing Hamas from looting and contributing to the mid-October ceasefire launched to bypass UN channels amid an 11-week blockade exacerbating famine. The GHF operated fenced sites in southern and central Gaza. However, the operations suspended post-ceasefire as the aid shifted to UN-led efforts via the new Civil Military Coordination Center, which GHF says will expand its approach. The foundation will remain a registered NGO, however, and it's poised for potential reactivation later. News from Sudan and Sudan's Rapid Support Forces. They've announced an apparently unilateral 3-month humanitarian truce. The head of Sudan's Rapid Support Forces, General Mohammed Hamad Dagalo, has said late on Monday that his paramilitaries, they would immediately enter into a 3-month humanitarian truce in the conflict with the country's armed forces. The RSF move, it came after the UAE lambasted the army chief, Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, for rejecting the U.S. truce proposal and accusing Washington of echoing Emirati positions on the conflict. The United States and the United Arab Emirates, Egypt and Saudi Arabia, known as the Quad there, they are, earlier this month, in fact, they proposed a plan for a 3-month truce followed by peace talks. Let's quickly look at other stories making news around the world. 2 Thanksgiving turkeys are enjoying luxury stay in Washington, D.C. before receiving the traditional presidential pardon. And this year's birds, Gobble and Waddle, from North Carolina, are being treated like VIPs at the hotel, like a hotel there. The annual event, it mixes politics, holiday spirit, and a bit of fun as President Donald Trump prepares to grant their official reprieve. Christmas market season has opened across Germany, with a 25-meter Christmas tree lighting up Munich's Marienplatz. And the festivities, they begin amid lighter and tighter, a lighter but tighter security there after a deadly car ramming attack at this market last year. Now, authorities have increased surveillance and traffic controls to keep visitors safe as crowds return to holiday celebrations. Melania Trump has welcomed the 2025 White House Christmas tree, corn-color fir from Michigan, marking the start of the holiday season. Public tours resume on December 2 after renovations in the East Wing for President Trump's new ballroom. Meanwhile, President Trump is set to pardon, as we said, the traditional turkeys on Tuesday, on Thanksgiving, before the Trumps head to Palm Beach for the holiday season. And torchlighting rehearsals for the Milano Cortina 2026 Winter Olympics have been completed in ancient Olympia, Greece. Wednesday's official ceremony will move indoors because of bad weather, with backup flame ready for use. After a week-long relay in Greece, the flame will be handed over on December 4 and then travel across Italy, passing major landmarks before reaching Milan's San Siro Stadium for the opening ceremony on February 6 next year. A remarkable moment in numismatics. A massive gold coin minted in 1609 for Spain's King Philip III has sold for more than $3.4 million at a Swiss auction, becoming the most valuable coin ever sold in Europe. It was a star-studded night in London as the premiere of Ella McCare drew Hollywood and European talent on Monday. America's Oscar-winning actress Jamie Lee Curtis and British-French actor Emma Mackey were among the major names on the red carpet for the political comedy directed by James Brooks. We're going to take a short break. Stay with us. Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy, always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the Economic Brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India. You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Mark Lynn. The Hayli Gubbi volcano in Ethiopia's Afar region erupted on Sunday, covering nearby villages with dust. And according to the Smithsonian Institution's Global Volcanism Program, this was the first eruption of the Hayli Gubbi documented in the last 12,000 years. But authorities said that no casualties had been reported, but they warned that ash could impact the livelihoods of local livestock owners as it reduces available grazing vegetation. Meanwhile, India's Directorate General of Civil Aviation on Monday has issued an advisory directing airlines to avoid altitudes and also regions affected by volcanic ash from Ethiopia's Hayli Gubbi eruption. According to the advisory, airports have also been asked to inspect runways for the contamination of ash and suspend operations if necessary. Let's now go to Kurukshetra in the Indian state of Haryana, where the International Gita Mahotsav has kicked off, drawing large crowds from across India and the world. Preparations are also underway ahead of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit in the evening later today. Siddharth Bardwaj is there, he reports.
I am in Kurukshetra, which is in the Indian state of Haryana, where the International Gita Mahotsav is going on in full swing. The festival was kicked off on November 15 and will go on till December 5th, 2025. People from all walks of life are enthusiastically participating in this event. The main objective is to actually spread the teachings of Srimad Bhagavad Gita and to spread the message of peace, love and unity all across the globe. Not just the people from the country, but people from foreign countries are also coming here and actively participating in the event. Ahead of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit, the security here is really tight, as Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be performing puja and darshan at Brahma Sarovar, which is considered as one of India's most sacred religious sites. And there is an additional deployment of security ahead of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit. Over 5,000 security personnel have been deployed ahead of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Kurukshetra. This time, the partner state is Madhya Pradesh, and the authorities are leaving no stone unturned to make sure that everything goes in a smooth-line manner. With camera person Sunil Rana, this is Siddharth Bharadwaj reporting for DD India in Kurukshetra, Haryana.
And Siddharth is now joining us from Kurukshetra with more on this story. Siddharth, Kurukshetra, as you've said, is all ready for the Prime Minister's visit to inaugurate the new Panchjanya monument. Tell us more about the visit in general.
Hi Mark, first of all, a very good morning to you. I'm here in Kurukshetra, as you know, and this is an Indian state of Haryana where Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit later in today. And he's having a packed itinerary, Mark. First of all, he will inaugurate Panchjanya, which is in honor of the sacred conch of Lord Krishna. Thereafter, he will also visit the Mahabharat Anubhav Kendra. And Mark, when you talk about this, when you enter Mahabharat Anubhav Kendra, you experience a different feeling altogether. It's a different feeling altogether. You actually go in the past. You get to learn a lot about Mahabharata, how it started, different avatars of Lord Vishnu. You can also read different books which are not easily available in the market, and everything through the digital medium. That aligns with India's vision of Viksit Bharat 2047, Mark, and also Digital India. So people can actually go there. People can understand, and especially youth, who want to learn about Mahabharata, they can learn it through digital medium, and that's the way in today's modern world. Thereafter, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, will participate in a very special program commemorating the 350th Shahidi Divas of Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, the revered 9th Sikh Guru. And on the occasion, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be releasing a special coin and commemorative stamp, and he will also address the gathering. Thereafter, where I am marked that this is Brahma Sarovar, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will perform puja and aarti here. In Kurukshetra, International Gita Mahotsav has already started. So this is all about Prime Minister's visit today, later in the day after Ayodhya. Mark, back to you.
Right. You did mention Ayodhya, Siddharth, and one understands that, both the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, the Prime Minister is, helping us go through that experience today. But if we talk about, the Gita Mahotsav, put this event into context there. You have talked to so many people who've come there, foreigners as well. Tell us, what their experience is like.
Definitely. First of all, Mark, I want to tell you that I covered International Gita Mahotsav last year as well. And this time, it's just getting bigger and better. The event has already started on 15th of November and will go on till 5th of December. And the main motive of International Gita Mahotsav, Mark, is to actually spread the teachings of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, which is to spread love, harmony, unity across the world. And as the name says, it's International Gita Mahotsav. So people from all walks of life are actually coming here from the country, from different states in India, and also from different parts of the world. People are coming here and they are really, really happy with the teachings of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. There are different stalls that have been put here wherein Srimad Bhagavad Gita is there. People are buying Srimad Bhagavad Gita and taking it along with them to their countries to spread teachings of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, because Mark, we are living in challenging times today, wherein we are witnessing different wars and conflicts in different parts of the world. And as far as India's stance is concerned, that India has always advocated for dialogue and diplomacy and has said that no solution can ever be found on the battlefield. So in this particular situation, the teachings of Srimad Bhagavad Gita works a lot. Like you've just mentioned, answering the second question of yours, Mark, that how people from the other countries are feeling, what is their experience. Mark, you just saw the report and how people from different countries have put their stalls. They're displaying different things, handicraft products. They're really happy with the experience. For some, it's their first experience, and for some people, it's their second or third experience. And they're really, really happy with the way the event is providing them a platform to actually showcase their product and bridge the gap and actually strengthening the people-to-people connect as well through this event. So yeah, all in all, International Gita Mahotsav is proving prolific for the people here in terms of boosting the economy of the region as well as spreading the teachings of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And also when the tourists are coming here, the foreigners are coming here, they're really, really happy with the way people are treating them. They're really, really happy with the way people are talking to them and the way they have got the platform to actually display their products and people are buying them. So it's actually strengthening, like I said, people-to-people connect. So all in all, the event will go until December 5th, Mark, and people are enthusiastically participating here.
We'll leave it there. Thank you very much, Siddharth Bhardwaj, for joining us from Kurukshetra with those inputs. Now, India has served a démarche to China after a woman from Arunachal Pradesh was detained and told that her Indian passport was invalid during a transit halt at the Shanghai Pudong Airport. India's consulate in Shanghai also took up this matter locally and extended fullest assistance to the stranded passenger. China's conduct has been described as a needless obstruction at a time when both countries are working to restore normalcy, sources have said. It was stressed also that the passenger had been detained on ludicrous grounds. Arunachal Pradesh is indisputably a part of Indian territory, and its residents are perfectly entitled to hold and travel with Indian passports. The Indian Navy is set to showcase innovation and indigenization at Swavlambam 2025, scheduled for the 25th and 26th of November at the Manekshaw Auditorium in New Delhi. The fourth edition of the Naval Innovation and Indigenization Organization Seminar. And the Vice Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Sanjay Vatsayan, highlighted the Swavlam 2025. It's going to emphasize emerging disruptive technologies, the contributions of Indian industry, innovations that strengthen national defense capabilities. The theme this year is Strengthen Power Through Innovation and Indigenization. It underscores India's commitment to advancing naval technology and self-reliance.
This is India's innovation at sea.
When India is set to spotlight its maritime prowess, and Defence Minister Rajnath Singh is going to be the chief guest at the Samudra Utkarsh. It's a seminar at Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi, showcasing the nation's modern shipbuilding and ship repair capabilities. So this seminar will highlight India's rich shipbuilding heritage and contemporary capabilities, bringing together leading defense shipyards, industry partners and stakeholders. Discussions will focus on indigenous shipbuilding advancements, also technological innovations, maritime infrastructure and India's expanding role in global maritime security. It's also, going to celebrate 4,524 years of shipbuilding in India. India and Bhutan, the two Himalayan neighbors, bound by faith, friendship and ancient cultural ties, they mark another historic moment as the sacred holy relics of Lord Buddha complete their special exposition in Thimphu. The Union Minister for Parliamentary Affairs and Minority Affairs, Kiren Rijiju, is in Bhutan as part of the official delegation overseeing the relics of the sacred relics of Lord Buddha, following their revered public exposition in Bhutan since the 8th of November. The legendary Hindi film actor Dharmendra passed away in Mumbai at the age of 89 on Monday, sending shockwaves through the world for his fans. With a career spanning over 6 decades, the He-Man of Indian cinema appeared in more than 300 films, many of which became unforgettable, era-defining hits. Still to come here on DD India News Hour. No chaos in BBC board handling of bias row. The board member Robbie Gibb denies the charges. Finland remains the world's happiest country even as the nation faces economic challenges.
Can the US launch a bombing campaign against Iran? The Philippines vessel suffered structural damage. The saga of child sexual abuse. Is the United States China's debt trap strategy? Truth is stranger than fiction. But sometimes hard to uncover. Trust us to tell the truth, unadulterated and pure, of every story that matters to you.
Remember to save your country.
You read between the lines, cut the clutter, and connect the dots to get you the full picture. Watch Connecting the Dots at these times with me, only on
You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Mark Lynn. And the chair of the BBC board told British lawmakers during a committee hearing on Monday that the handling of reports of bias on the public broadcaster had not been chaotic. Sameer Shah said that the board has acted in a timely way and defended fellow board member Robbie Gibb against allegations of bias. He said that the broadcaster had taken action on many fronts in response to criticism. Michael Prescott, a former external editor advisor, compiled a dossier on issues within the BBC News, including failings in the editing of a speech by US President Donald Trump and allegations of bias in its coverage of the Israel-Hamas conflict and transgender issues. Finland retains its title as the world's happiest country, even as the nation faces economic challenges, including a stagnant economy. There's stagnant growth there, there's rising unemployment and strained public finances. But the Bank of Finland forecasts economic growth of just 0.3% in 2025. Overall unemployment sits at near 10%. Youth unemployment has reached 21.2%. Experts note that Finland's high ranking in the World Happiness Report is supported by strong social support, life satisfaction and resilience rather than purely economic factors. And despite financial pressures, the country continues to emphasize welfare, community services and the quality of life indicators that sustain well-being. You're with DD India News Hour. Here's the sports now. And India's women's team, they've secured their second successive Women's Kabaddi World Cup title in Dhaka, beating Chinese Taipei 35-28 in the final on Monday. India maintained an excellent run. They formed throughout the tournament, winning all their group matches, and they reached the semi-finals where they faced Iran. And following this historic win, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has congratulated the team, and he said that the victory will inspire future generations to take up the sport. South Africa will look to consolidate their already strong position against the hosts India when day 4 of the second and final cricket test resumes in Guwahati. Now, South Africa had won the first test in Kolkata by 30 runs and are well positioned to push for a rare test series victory in India. And Narayan is with us. He is following the match closely. Narayan, it's day 4. What can we expect?
Mark, nothing we can expect from the day 4 because the conditions are like that. India is just staring a big defeat here because as we know that the kind of cricket they displayed, especially in both the test matches, the first test match too, and here in the second test match in Guwahati, we can say that India is just seeing a big defeat and also a rare series win for the South Africa in the Indian condition. And if India loses this match, and definitely it's going to be, even if it ends in a draw, if some miracle happens, then also in that condition, India losing a back-to-back series at the home condition, it's a big setback not only for the Indian cricket team, for the Indian cricket fans, because this kind of cricket has never been played. If you take a look, the previous series that was against the New Zealand, where we were clean swept in the 3-match series by the New Zealand, in that series also India showed some application. There was some big fight between both the teams, and India never looked like they are surrendering the match against the New Zealand too. Moreover, India dominated the New Zealand in a multiple session in that series, but here it was like a one-sided affair. If you take a look, Indian batters are not able to play the spinners, they are not able to play the pacers, and also the most important thing is that the big difference in the skill was visible in both the teams. If you take a look, the way their spinner Harmer was bowling, he has the multiple variation in his bowling. He is using the pitch properly at the putting the ball in the right areas. If you take a look, their pacer, the way kudos to Marco Jansen. Especially with short pitch deliveries, the way he bowled, and the reckless shot selection by the Indian cricket team. So there was a big difference in the skill, Mark. So I think it will not go down with the Indian cricketing fans.
We leave it there. Thank you very much, Narayan, for those inputs, and Narayan painting a gloomy picture for India in Guwahati. Well, that's all we have in this edition of DD India News Hour, but let's know your thoughts on the news of the day. And for those on the go, get the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app, available on Android and iOS platforms. You can scan the QR code on your screens and download it now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. My name is Mark Lin. Thanks very much for watching DD India News Hour. Namaskar.